Hi, thank you so much for being here this week. Today we're going to talk about how to make your home less toxic or low tox and how to have a more low tox lifestyle really. And this has been my main focus for 2025 is just how to get rid of all the unnecessary things. And that's really what I'm discovering a low tox lifestyle is. It's just going back to the basics, maybe living like how our ancestors lived, how to do without all the dyes and the perfumes and the things they add to most of our products. Our ancestors didn't have, all these choices of cleaning supplies and 30 or 40 different choices for dishwasher detergent, things like that. They made it mostly, or they just had one or two options, and it was better for them because they didn't have all of this added stuff that is not good for us. So a low tox lifestyle, I'm learning, is just about getting rid of all of the unnecessary things that we have in our products and our clothes, even our makeup and all of the things that things they put into our food. We just don't need it. It is not good for our health, and it's really affecting us negatively. And this was really driven home to me. I started off this journey in January of this year, and I wanted to replace all of my store-bought cleaning supplies and to see if I could make them and make it cleaner, because I was really having negative reactions to our cleaning products. We would have a cleaning service and they would come twice a month. And on those days after they spent, all this time spraying different chemicals around my house and every room and mixing chemicals, we don't even know how we mix one cleaning supply with another, what it's going to do. But I can tell you, it made me feel really tired. I had brain fog, nausea. I just felt really sick on those days and a few days after. And that's when I really decided I need to really understand what's going on in my home, and I want to live a cleaner life. So I did. I gathered all of the cleaning supplies we had, and I think I had maybe like 30, possibly more if I went through the garage and all that, but around 30, and I threw them out. And I decided to make them all. And I just researched natural ingredients or more, less toxic ingredients. And I found out it's everything that we have in our home. We have it all. We've got vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, sometimes Castile soap, salt, olive oil, all of these things that I already had. And, I got some essential oils. There were some things I needed to get, like alcohol, that kind of a thing, just to make sure I had enough. And I was able to mix every cleaning supply down from glass cleaner to even granite cleaner to my floor cleaner, just with these same 6 products. And I think it's probably the same in the commercial world. They all start with this base, and then, however they do it. And then they just add perfumes, they add dyes, they add chemicals to make it more sudsy or something. All of these things that are not good for our bodies. And it's the same with their clothes. They just, they do different kinds of blends and, plastics in our clothes and all these kinds of things. So it's really, a less toxic lifestyle is just really turning back the hands of time, getting a little bit busier, less reliant on stores and manufacturers, and doing it yourself. But the benefit is so great for your health. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. And I'm going to show you other areas in your home, how you can make some just easy switches and also make some products for yourself. And I'm going to link the video, the cleaning video I did where I talk about how I made all the cleaning supplies in the description, so you can have all of that. But anyways, let's get started. Like I said, the best part of living a detox, low tox lifestyle is getting rid of redundancies, things you don't need. So many products that are just bad for you that you can handle with just a few items just like this. And you'll see that I just keep using these same items over again in my home, and I can get rid of a lot of waste and save money. For my dish soap, I just decided to use Castile soap. There's so many, I think, better and cleaner options now on the market, but there is also a recipe to make your own dish soap with Castile soap and putting it in a container and adding some essential oils. But I'm fine with it just the way it is. I don't really need the essential oils, and I don't want to buy another product. I kind of want less products in my home. So I'm just going to use Castile soap, and it's been working really well. Another area that I really want to reduce and clean up is what I'm using for our hand soap. We have these in every bathroom. We have them in the kitchen. We have them in our laundry room where we enter and leave the house. We're always washing our hands. So I'm constantly buying these products, and we run out so quickly. I'm alarmed at how fast we go through all of these. But you know, I was looking at the ingredients, and there's so much that I really can't pronounce. There's so much perfume in them. I haven't really researched this, but I don't really feel like I need to, because I looked up a recipe, and just like the dish soap, you can use Castile soap, put essential oils in it, and you're done. And you already have it. You've got it for all your other cleaning, you know, products that you're going to be making, or you have it for your dish soap. So why not just use it for your hand soap? You know, it's non-toxic, or less toxic at least. And you can just get rid of all this. You can save money and stop running back and forth to the grocery store, and just, you know, stock up on that, and you're done. Less shopping for me, and I know it's a little bit healthier, so that's the route I'm gonna go. One of the other steps I made into making my home a little bit more low tox was throwing out all of my plastic Tupperware sort of containers. I had so many of these, and the problem is, you know, we were putting them in the dishwasher. And I think when you put the plastic in the heating of the dishwasher, it sort of releases the toxins of the plastic, and it gets on your other food. And I just don't want it touching my food. So what I've done is, even though the top part is plastic, you're reducing it because you're putting the food in the glass part. This can go in the dishwasher, and then I wash these separately by hand. So I feel like this makes me feel a lot better. And I'll show you where I got these on Amazon, and they come in so many different sizes. And these have been enough. I've got a full set, and I'll link to it. And you can even get bigger things like that for casseroles or whatever. But I really recommend making this step. So here's a link on Amazon. You can just look it up. They have a lot of different choices, but I've been really happy with these. You're gonna wanna get rid of your plastic cutting boards, because every time you make an abrasion like you see here, you create little microplastics, and those microplastics get into your food, and so you're ingesting plastics. So that is not good. You may wanna switch to a bamboo cutting board, because these have natural antimicrobial properties that will help with the, you know, just keep you safer. And you can put boiling water and then just put hydrogen peroxide on it to get rid of like chicken or fish, any sort of like germs that you wanna clean. These are great. One area I was worried about finding a natural cleaner was for scuff marks on our white kitchen sink. You guys probably get them. We used to use commercial products, like I think Soft Scrub was our favorite, and we used it almost every night. But like, you know, it has a lot of toxins in it. I don't want to use it. So I found a way to clean it, and it's just with everything that we have. You can just put baking soda in it. Even though this kind of baking soda has aluminum in it, I don't care, because we're just cleaning and rinsing it down the drain. But I let it sit overnight with the baking soda, and that generally takes care of it. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit. It's been soaking for a while, probably not long enough, so I'm going to add a little bit of vinegar, and you'll see that it gets that kind of scrubbing. You can even hear it. It gives that little scrubbing bubble sound. And I'm just going to let that sit for just a second, and then I'm going to, you know, clean it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm just going to take a paper towel and clean it really quickly, and I'll show you what it looks like after that. It works best if you leave it overnight after everybody's gone upstairs and gone to bed, and then you come in the next day and you clean it. You can even do it with hydrogen peroxide, but it does work. It gets rid of the scuffs, and it makes my sink look really fresh and clean. It looks a little bit dingy here because we have a warm light above our sink, but it does work, and it's a solution that I really like to do, and I'm so glad we were able to get rid of another cleaning product. So we're big tea drinkers in our home, and we use this a lot because a lot of our teacups, all of our teacups, usually get stained with the tannins from the tea. So that used to be a quick and easy way to do it. But now we're using the baking soda, and same principle as with the sink. I just get all my teacups out and put that in, add a little water and let it soak, and then just kind of get it around there. And then when it's all, you know, it pulls it all out, and you just rinse it out, and it looks just fine. And this has worked so perfectly. You may want to consider changing your toilet paper. Commercial toilet paper has polyfluoroalkyls in it, which is a really toxic substance that's linked to cancer, immune disruption, and also it can throw off your hormone balance. So these are super toxic, and when we flush this down the toilet, it gets into our wastewater supply that could contaminate our water. So this is a good brand. I use this. I got that from it's Bamboo. I got it from Central Market there, and you can also order it off of Amazon. So our private areas guys tend to be, sorry to be so real, our skin's a little bit thinner. So when you're applying these toxins right onto it, it's a really easy way for toxins to enter our body. Toilet paper is not as nice. I'm just going to say it. It's not as plush as maybe some of the store-bought items that you're using. But you know what? It's, for me, that slight discomfort is okay. I don't need something that plush. If that means I'm applying toxins right, to my private areas, I am okay with this change. You may want to ditch the dryer sheets. These are considered one of the most toxic things in your home because they release volatile organic compounds, the VOCs, into the air, so your family's breathing it. If your neighbors may even be breathing it. And when you use a dryer sheet, they put a sort of wax chemical coating on your clothes so they don't stick. So then when you take them out of the dryer, you put it on your clothes, you're just putting all these chemicals right onto your body. And if you can't, try Molly Suds. These seem like a better option because they use healthier products. But this is something I have just done away with. I've just realized I don't need dryer sheets. It's too big of a risk for me, and I haven't missed them. But this seems like a better option. One of my biggest concerns is what I am putting in the dishwasher and the laundry machine. And there are good cleaner alternatives than there have been, but there's so many choices. It gets so confusing. And I just wanted to see if I could make it, and I could make it even cleaner and less expensive at home, how hard that was going to be. And you just never know because, like I said, there are so many options and it gets confusing. So I found a recipe and I went to Target because I know I needed an airtight jar, and I'm going to go through all of this with you guys. And I also needed to get some other items like a cheese grater because I was gonna need that for my laundry detergent, and I'm always gonna need more baking soda. So I came here, and I don't want Arm & Hammer because that has aluminum. I don't want that on my dishes or my body when I put my clothes on. So I was looking for Red Mill, and they had every other sort of Red Mill but the baking soda. So I ended up ordering it off of Amazon, but you can also find it at Central Market. I also ordered a few things off of Amazon for the laundry and the dish detergent. I needed this Castile soap for the laundry detergent. I needed the citric acid for the dishwashing detergent recipe. And I also needed to get some salt, sea salt or kosher salt that I ordered from Amazon for the dishwasher detergent recipe. Now we're going to make the laundry detergent. So what we're going to need is you're going to need baking soda. And what this is just a mild cleanser. It's just going to soften the water, and it's just going to lift dirt. It also kills odor. So we really want to use that. And then what we need also washing soda, and we're going to go ahead and bake this at 400 degrees for an hour. And I'll tell you more about that process. But what that's going to do is once you have the washing soda, that's going to really lift more ground-in stains and lift the grease, cut through the grease. And then we're going to use this Castile soap. We're going to grate this with this grater. So you're also going to need a grater. And we went ahead and got a separate one because if we do like this, we'll be using it over and over again. And it's always a little bit, we want to make sure we have it separate from our food. I mean, it seems safe enough, but just for ease, we went ahead and got a second one. So you're going to grate that. And that also is just a general cleaner, and that's going to lift new stains, and that's just going to soften the water and all that kind of thing. Also, you're going to want to get some essential oil. We've got lemongrass for this batch. An airtight jar just to seal everything and keep it, working. You don't want to get too much air or moisture in there. You want to keep it kind of dry, and a bowl. And so we're going to mix all this together, and we're going to start with a trial batch. So I will walk you through that process, and we'll see if it works, and then I'll go ahead and make a bigger batch. But all right, let's get to it. So the first thing you want to do is just grate your Castile bar soap, and we're making a trial batch. So we're gonna just cut this recipe into thirds. They call for 15 ounces of this. This is just a 5 ounce because I just wanna see if it works before I do all that grating. So let's see how this goes. So now we finished with the washing soda. We're gonna add it to the laundry detergent. And we're gonna add also a few drops of essential oil. And since this is just a test batch, we're gonna add like maybe 10 drops, just a few. And yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna mix it all up, and then we're gonna go just do a load of laundry and see what we think. So we'll be right back with you. So the next step is we're just gonna get it into our airtight jar, and it smells so good we did the orange essential oil. It smells so good. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and then I will meet you guys in the laundry room. So what they suggest is getting 1/8 of a cup, it's just like this, and pouring it at the bottom of your washer. I guess you could put it in the dispenser. I'm gonna do what they say. And then we're gonna go ahead and just add the laundry and we'll see how. Okay, I just wanted to update you on the laundry. We did the first batch with the detergent we made. And I have to say, everything came out clean. It works. And the first thing I tested was odor. Did it actually get rid of the odor? And it did. And it got rid of like any like food or something that was spilled on that, any of, clothes that we had in that wash, and it did. So it works. I mean, I have washed clothes where I feel like the detergent hasn't like addressed the odor of the clothes, but it does. It took care of the odor. They smelled clean, they look clean, and we've done probably 4 or 5 batches since then. And the one thing I will say is my whites have come out brighter. So I think in some cases it's actually better than the detergent that we're using. So I just wanted to let you know that it works. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm really happy with the detergent we just made, but I have been using Blueland. If you can't make your own detergent and you need choices, Clean People is really good as well. And I've been using that for the last 6 months. So I have them all right now because I just have them left over, but I'm probably gonna switch to just the homemade. Okay, so we're gonna make the dishwashing powder for your dishwasher. And so what you're gonna need is the baking soda. I've been told that the Arm & Hammer baking soda has aluminum in it, so we're not going to use that because it's going to be near our food. And I've been told that this is a much better baking soda. So you're going to need this, and this is just going to be like, the baking soda is just a mild cleanser. It just lifts the dirt, mild stains, it cuts the grease. But we're going to bake this because you also need washing soda. It didn't come from Amazon yet, so we're going to go ahead and make it, and you can make it by baking your baking soda for an hour at 400 degrees, and then that turns into your washing soda, and the washing soda further cuts down the grease and it softens the water, so that's going to really get your deep grease, you're really going to cut into that. So that's why we're going to do that, and I'll show you how we make it, and I'll also show you where to get it. You're going to need some pure citric acid, and what this does is this is more of like a pH balance. It helps with mineral buildup in your dishwasher. So you're gonna need this, and then you're also gonna need some salt, and not all salt is equal. I've heard to only use sea salt and maybe kosher salt. I don't really know what the difference is, but what this does is it cuts the hard water and it cuts through the mineral buildup, so you're not gonna get the streaks on your glasses. So this is what you're gonna need for that. And then you're gonna need a jar, and also, I think they said like 2 tablespoons, but that's something that I'm gonna have to play around with. And also it's essential oil. I'm gonna use orange essential oil, and just a bowl to mix it in. So we're gonna get started on that, and I'll show you how it turns out. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the baking soda and we're gonna turn it into washing soda. So what we do is we're gonna take the baking soda, we're gonna put it on this tray, I'm gonna even it out in a minute, and we're gonna bake it for 400 degrees for an hour. So what this does is heating the baking soda, it's gonna drive off the carbon dioxide and water, and then it's just gonna leave you with sodium carbonate, which is washing soda. And that is too much science for me, but it's gonna work together to break down the grease. So let's see how it does. I'm gonna go ahead and bake it, and we'll see how it does. And I'm using enough because I'm just doing a trial for both the dishwashing and the laundry detergent. So this is just a trial run. So you just put it in the oven and you bake it at 400 for an hour, and it is that easy. And I know we're a little out of sequence. We used it in our laundry detergent, but I just want to show you how to make it. And it comes, after you take it out, you let it cool a little bit, and then you just add it to your dishwashing detergent and your laundry detergent recipes. And if you don't have time to make it, you can always order it off of Amazon. Okay, so we're making our testing dishwashing detergent, and we're going to use 2 parts of this. We're waiting for the washing soda to bake, and we're going to use 1 part citric acid. So we're just making a very small batch, and then we're going to add the sea salt in at the end, and we'll mix it all up and we'll run a test. All right. Okay, so now we're going to add the washing soda to the dishwasher detergent. And okay, so what we did, we just added the washing soda that we just got out of the oven to the dish detergent recipe. And now we're gonna add some essential oil. We're gonna add since this is just a small batch, we're gonna add probably 10 drops. And then we're gonna go ahead and put it into the airtight container and run a load. So our Our laundry is washing right now, and we're gonna get started on the dishwasher in just a minute. All right, so we'll meet you over at our dishwasher. Full, we measured it out, and we're gonna see maybe just, yeah, we don't have a big load, so I think that is gonna do it. So we're gonna go ahead and so I just got the dishes out of the washer, and I think it's done a really good job. My glasses have come out really clean. It's worked really well. I'm gonna keep using it and keep experimenting, but it's not working. And I think as far as my glasses look, they're actually coming out a little less streaky. So I think this is really good. I'm gonna keep using it. If making dishwasher detergent is not for you, and I understand that, this is actually a good option. I've been using this for a while. The main thing is you just don't want to get those pods that are covered in plastic, because once you get those into your dishwasher and the heat gets on it, all of that plastic is going to go all over your dishes. So it's not at all safe. So, try to find a powder that's non-toxic, but I think this is actually a really good brand if you don't want to make your own. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys got something out of this, and I am still on this journey. I'm learning more every day, but I am loving this because it's just simplified my life. I love that I don't have to have so many products. I don't have to spend so much money. I don't have to spend so much time at the store. I have to keep track of maybe 6 or 7 products like vinegar, Castile soap, as opposed to 30 or 40 different products for different areas of your house. And I love that I have more control over my environment. I have a peace of mind that I'm, spraying things and cleaning surfaces with things that are not gonna harm us. So that really has been the biggest game changer, and I feel so much better. I feel amazing, to be honest. A lot of my brain fog has lifted, but I've been applying it to my food, my makeup, even my skincare. It has had a huge impact on my health. So I'm gonna keep sharing what I'm learning with you guys if you're interested. And also, if you guys have recipes or things that you wanna share in the comments, please do that, because I would love to hear from you. And I will share the recipes, ingredients, I don't know what you really call them, in the description, and also the link to that cleaning video. So anyways, I'm so glad that you guys were here, and let's just keep exploring this lower toxic lifestyle. And I will see you guys the next time.